Good evening, everyone. I'm here today with my first video on YouTube. This video is going to be all about solving problems on LeetCode. So this video is going to be a part of my 500 LeetCode challenge, in which I will be solving a bunch of LeetCode problems. 500 LeetCode problems in this year currently, and I'll be doing this without any time constraint. So without any further ado, let's move into the video and let's look at the problem. So here is our two-sum problem. It is an easy level problem on LeetCode, and in this problem, if you feel like it is very complex, if you look at this thing, first time when I used to solve this problem, when I was going to solve this problem, I used to look at this function and I used to get afraid of this. I used to feel, how would I solve this problem? But later on, when I noticed the intuition, it was very easy. So what we have to do in this problem, let's look at the explanation first. So we are given an array of integers which goes by the name nums. Okay, so nums here is the array of integers, and we are given an integer target. So we are given an integer target, and what we have to do is that we have to return the indices of the two numbers such that they add up to the target. Like, I'll give you the examples later on, but firstly we'll read all this explanation. So you may assume that each input would have exactly one solution. So each input would have exactly one solution, and you may not use the same element twice. You may not use the same element twice. What does it say? We'll look into that. You can return the answer in any order. So you can return the answer in any order. There is no order mentioned here. Okay, so let's look at the example first. So here we are given the number nums, and nums is equal to 2, 7, 11 and 15. This nums is an array of integer, right? And we are given a target element, that is 9. Okay, so what we have to do, the output is 0 and 1. Now how we got this output, let's look into this. So we are given a target 9. So what we have to do, we have to return the indices, of the two numbers such that what, they add up to the target. So 9 is the target. So the two numbers that add up to give the target, that is 2 and 7. When we add these two numbers, we get the element which is equal to target. 2 plus 7, that is 9, and the target is also 9. So in that case, what we have to do is that we have to return the indices of these two numbers, 2 and 7. 2 is on index 0, so we return the index 0, and 7 is on index 1, so we return the index 1. So we have to return this in the form of a vector. Okay, because nums 0 and nums 1 is equal to 9, we return 0 and 1. So in the next example, nums is equal to 3, 2 and 4. Nums is an integer array of 3, 2 and 4, and the target element is 6. Now which two elements add up to give the target element? That is 4 and 2. So we return the indices of these two elements. So what are the indices of these two elements? 2 is having the indices or index as 1, and 4 is having the index as 2. Okay, so we return 1 and 2 in the output. And in the third case, we are given a array nums is equal to 3 comma 3. So the target is 6, so we'll return 0 and 1 as the output. So this output would be a vector of indices. Okay, like as you can see in this function, this is a vector of integers. So these integers would be the indices. Now how we can solve this problem? We are already given a vector nums as a parameter, and we are given an integer which is target. Now what we can do is that, first of all, we can create an integer variable which would store the size of the nums array, right? So first of all, what we'll do, we'll create a vector. Okay, so suppose I create a vector uh, that is, let's say, v. Okay, in which we'll push the indices of the element which add up to give the target element, right? So here we have created a vector that is v. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll store the size of the nums array in a particular integer variable. Let's suppose it is n, int n is equal to nums dot size. Okay, yeah, so we have done something here. We have stored the size of the nums array in a particular variable. Now what we have to do, we have to iterate from the first index from 2 to n minus 1. Okay, and we have to iterate the second index that we are going to return from 7 to 15. Okay, that is from I plus 1. I plus 1 would be 7, right? If I denotes the index of element 2, then I plus 1 would be the index of 7 and up to 15. Now look at the way I solve this problem. For integer I equals to 0, I is less than n minus 1. So I would stop here, okay, one index before j. Okay, so I plus plus, we have to increase I at each time. Okay, for int j equal to 0, sorry, j would not be 0 here. What we have to do, j would be an index higher than I, so j would be I plus 1 and j would be less than n. Okay, and we have to increase the j. Okay, okay, now what we have to do, oh sorry, now what we have to do is we have to, let's make it more readable. Okay, now it's fine. So now what we have to do, now we have to look for now we have to push these indices indices of the numbers that give the target element. So what we have done here is that we have created two for loops, right? So in the first for loop we have we have initialized I with 0 and then we have moved till n minus 1. So what before n minus 1, okay, we have stopped before n minus 1 and each time we have incremented I by 1. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to take I as 0th index. Okay, I will denote or represent this number. Okay, the index of this number. Okay, and I will move from here to till 11. Okay, and in the second case j we have taken as I plus 1. So if I is equal to 0 in the first case, so j will be 1. So j will be starting from 7 and j will be moving till 15. Okay, and this way we'll have access of every element and we won't be pushing the indices of the same element into the vector. So what we have to do, if now we'll put a condition here, if nums, because nums is the array, right? So I represents the indices of the element and nums is the array. So nums I, that is in the first case I is equal to 0, so nums 0 would be 2, and if nums I plus nums j, if nums I plus num j means let me complete it first. 2 is equal to target. So here what I have written is, if nums I and nums j add up to give us the target element, what we have to do, we have to push this push the indices of these two elements, right? So indices is I and j only and the numbers would be nums I and num j, right? So we'll be pushing the indices, so that is v dot pushback I, and then we have to push another indices of the index of another number, another element j. Okay, and then we have to return the vector. The vector is v. Let's remove the unnecessary space here. Okay, so we have to return v at the end. Okay, and later on we have to return this vector. So here we'll return this vector. Okay, in this case we would solve this problem. So what I have done here is, now look at the explanation part. So here what I have done is, I've created a vector first and then I have stored the size of the nums array in another integer variable that goes by n, name n. Okay, then we have to take two for loops. One will iterate from the first indices to the n minus 1th indices and another will move from uh, I plus 1th indices to the nth indices. Okay, I mean not the nth but n minus till the n minus 1 indices. Okay, but this first for loop will move till uh, n minus 2 indices. Okay, so here if nums I plus nums j gives us the target element, we have to push the indices of these, that is 0 and 1, and in the another vector that is v, and then we have to return the vector. Okay, so let's now run this code. Okay, I think it would be fine. Yeah, so it got accepted and we are getting answer in each case. So let's submit this problem and let's see if it is solved. Yeah, so this is actually solved. Okay, so we have solved this problem. So that's all for this video, and if you like this solution, do give a like and share and subscribe my channel. And if you want more videos from this channel, you can comment down below, so I'll be bringing more videos in the future updates. Okay, thank you.